Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's not the end. It's not the wall. It's the warning that tells you something is real, something is risky, something matters. But here's the truth. Most people see fear and freeze. They stop, they fold. They let fear dictate what they do, or worse, what they don't do. But that's not the way, not if you want to grow, not if you want to win, not if you want to lead. Fear is built into you for a reason. It's supposed to alert you to danger, but it's not supposed to paralyze you. It's supposed to prepare you, to wake you up, to put your senses on edge, to get your heart racing, so you can face what's in front of you, not run from it. When you see fear as the enemy, you hesitate. But when you treat fear as a signal, you adapt. You think clearly. You adjust your footing, lock in your vision, and move forward with intent. You want to do something great. You're going to feel fear. You want to take risks that matter. Fear will show up. You want to grow, then fear will test you. And the people who win, the people who build unshakable confidence, who forge their character in fire, they don't run from fear. They walk into it, they take the hit, and they keep going. Fear tells you that this moment is important. It tells you that you're about to step out of comfort, out of the safe zone. That's good. That's where you learn. That's where you sharpen. That's where you become something more. You don't want to live a life where fear makes all your decisions. You don't want to look back and realize you let fear chain you down. You want to look back and know you stepped up, especially when it was hard, especially when you were scared. You will feel fear, but you will move anyway. You will feel resistance, but you will push anyway. Fear is not your commander, you are. You take orders from discipline, from purpose, from truth. And the truth is this: you can do more than you think. You can push further. You can withstand more pain. But you'll never know it until you move forward through fear. Fear will come, but fear does not stop you. Fear signals you. Now it's your move. Self-doubt is your enemy, and you don't negotiate with the enemy. You don't sit down at the table and have a conversation with it. You don't explain yourself to it. You don't ask it for permission to act, because self-doubt doesn't want to understand you. It wants to destroy you. It wants you to second guess your abilities, your path, your decisions. It wants to stall your momentum and drain your willpower. And if you entertain it, if you give it 1 inch, it will take your whole mindset hostage. Self-doubt whispers. It says you're not good enough. It says you're not ready. It says you'll fail. And here's what separates the strong from the weak. The strong hear the same voice, but they move anyway. They don't wait to feel perfect. They don't wait until the doubt goes away. They act in spite of it, because they know that self-doubt isn't rooted in reality. It's rooted in fear, in weakness, in lies. When you believe self-doubt, you weaken your own position. You become passive. You look for approval. You hesitate. And hesitation kills dreams, kills momentum, kills growth. You want to build something, lead something, become something, then you treat self-doubt like the enemy it is. You override it with truth. You drown it in action. You silence it with discipline. You don't negotiate with the enemy, because the enemy isn't interested in compromise. It wants surrender. And the moment you begin to justify your doubt, the moment you give it a seat at the table, you've already started to lose the battle. Instead, you need to build the kind of mindset that stands up and says, I may not have it all figured out, but I'm not stopping. I may not be the most talented, but I will outwork you. I will outlast you. I will show up. You become stronger when you move through doubt, not when you avoid it. Every rep in the gym, every hour behind the scenes, every second spent doing the hard things while others rest. Those are the moments that kill self-doubt. You don't overcome it by thinking about it. You overcome it by doing. By proving to yourself again and again that you are capable, that you are prepared, that you are forged in struggle. No more stalling, no more excuses, no more waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. And that's fine. Let it stay. Let the self-doubt scream. You just keep showing up. Keep moving forward, because the enemy may be loud, but it's not in control. You are. And when it comes down to a fight between you and self-doubt, you don't talk. You don't explain. You just win. You're in charge, not your excuses. That's the line in the sand. That's the truth that separates people who move forward from people who stay stuck. Because everyone has excuses. Everyone has pain, limitations, distractions, stress, and fear. But not everyone gives those things the power to control their life. You want to build something real, You want to become someone strong. Then stop handing over your authority to your excuses. Take command. Excuses feel good in the moment. They let you off the hook. They comfort your ego. They make you feel justified in doing less. But every excuse is a brick in the wall between you and your potential. You don't break through that wall with more reasons. You break it with responsibility. You face the truth. You didn't get it done. Not because you couldn't, but because you chose something easier. You skipped the workout. You hit snooze. You delayed the plan. You stayed silent when you should have spoken up. Own it. That's how you grow. Taking charge means refusing to be a victim, not of your circumstances, not of your past, not of your emotions. It means accepting that your life, your results, your progress, or your lack of it, is on you, no one else. No blaming the weather, no blaming your parents, no blaming society. It's not about fair. It's about responsibility. The strongest people don't wait to be rescued. They rescue themselves. They take the hit, get up, and move again. Every time you let an excuse speak louder than your discipline, you give away your control. You let weakness drive the car, and weakness doesn't lead to growth. It leads to regret. And regret is heavier than any workout, any early morning, any tough conversation. The weight of "I should have" is worse than the pain of pushing through. You're not here to play it safe. You're not here to coast. You're here to build, to lead, to conquer the parts of you that want to settle. So when your mind offers an excuse, answer it with action. When your body wants to quit, push one more rep. When your feelings tell you to wait, step forward anyway. That's leadership, that's discipline, and you are in charge. No one else is coming to enforce your goals. No one else is going to hold the line for you. That's your job. You're the commander, you're the driver. So stop letting excuses sit in the front seat. Throw them out, get clear, get focused, get moving, because your life doesn't change through wishing. It changes through work, through responsibility, through relentless ownership. Confidence isn't given, it's earned through war with your weakness. You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel powerful. You don't become confident because someone tells you you're good enough. Confidence isn't gifted, it's built, brick by brick, battle by battle, through late nights, early mornings, setbacks, sweat, doubt, and doing the work when no one's watching. You want confidence, then you're going to have to fight for it. That fight starts within. It starts with a voice that says, "I can't." With a part of you that wants to skip the hard reps, avoid the painful truth, stay in the comfort zone. That part of you, that weakness, isn't going to go away on its own. It's not going to surrender just because you're tired of it. You have to wage war on it. You have to confront it daily. Discipline is your weapon. Repetition is your ammunition. Pain is the proving ground. People want confidence without challenge. They want strength without suffering, but it doesn't work that way. The truth is, you only become confident when you prove to yourself over and over that you can show up, fight through, and finish, not perfectly, not easily, but relentlessly. That's what builds the voice in your head that says, "I've got this," even when things are falling apart. That's the kind of confidence that lasts, not fake hype, not shallow self-esteem, but real, tested confidence. And make no mistake, the battlefield is ugly. You will fail. You will fall short. You will question everything. And that's when most people quit. But if you stay in the fight, if you keep swinging even when you're exhausted, if you keep going even when you feel like an imposter, that's where the shift happens. That's where weakness gets replaced by strength. That's where doubt gets drowned out by proof. Confidence doesn't come from talking. It comes from doing. It doesn't come from being told you're ready. It comes from making yourself ready, from studying harder, training longer, sacrificing more. And when you do that, when you build that kind of mindset, you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You just move, you lead, you execute. So if you're feeling unsure, if you're feeling weak, good. That means the war is on. That means you have something to overcome. And that's where you find the edge. Don't back off. Don't shrink. Step forward. Take the hit. Keep swinging. Because every rep you finish, every challenge you face, every demon you crush, that's where confidence is born. Not given, earned. And you earn it by going to war with the part of you that wants to quit. Control isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about having everything figured out, never making mistakes, or always feeling strong. It's about showing up especially when you don't feel ready. It's about keeping your grip on the wheel even when the road gets rough. Because control isn't a one-time act. It's a discipline. It's a mindset. It's what you practice every single day, through every choice, every challenge, every setback. Perfection is a trap. It's the excuse your mind gives you to not begin. I'm not ready yet. It's not the right time. I don't have the perfect plan. That's weakness talking. That's fear in disguise. Control doesn't wait for perfect. Control acts anyway. It adjusts on the move. It learns from failure, recalibrates, and keeps pressing forward. Real control doesn't mean you never slip, it means you never stop. Persistence is where control lives. It's in the reps you don't skip. The mornings you get up even when you're exhausted. The days you stay focused even when distractions are screaming. Control isn't some mythical state where everything is calm and easy. No, control is earned in chaos. It's the discipline to stay locked in when things fall apart. It's the refusal to let emotions dictate your direction. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to quit, you strengthen that control. Every time you stay consistent, you tighten your grip. You don't need to be perfect to win, you need to be relentless. Because the world isn't going to hand you the perfect moment. Life won't always cooperate. And if you wait for that ideal situation, you'll never move. You'll stay stuck, spinning your wheels, calling it preparation when really it's procrastination. Control is found in the repeat, in the grind. In the small, hard, thankless decisions you make day after day. It's what happens when you hold yourself accountable, not once, not occasionally, but constantly. You fall off, fine, you get back up. You make a mistake, good, you learn, you don't let it define you. You don't throw away the mission because of one bad moment. That's what control looks like. That's what persistence feels like. So forget trying to be flawless. Forget waiting until everything feels perfect. What matters is that you persist, that you keep moving forward with intention, with grit, with a clear standard. You don't need perfection. You need progress. You need to show up again and again regardless of the resistance. Control isn't about never missing. It's about never quitting. You stay in the fight. You hold the line. You remain relentless. That's real control. And it's yours if you persist. Discipline buries fear. Action kills anxiety. That's how you fight back. That's how you take control of a chaotic mind, a racing heart, and the paralyzing weight of worry. Not by thinking more, not by talking yourself in circles, but by moving, by executing, by building a system that operates no matter how you feel. That's discipline, and it is your greatest weapon against fear. Fear thrives in hesitation. It grows in indecision. The more you wait, the louder it gets. The more you overthink, the heavier it becomes. Fear wants you frozen. It wants you inactive, because as long as you're standing still, it wins. But the second you take action, the second you shift from thought to movement, everything changes, because fear hates momentum, it hates motion, it hates a mind that refuses to give it power. Discipline is how you remove fear's influence from your decisions. It's not about waiting for confidence. It's not about waiting until the fear goes away. It's about building routines, habits, and standards that you follow regardless of emotion. You don't feel like getting up. You do it anyway. You don't feel like training. You do it anyway. That's how you build armor. That's how you condition your mind to obey your mission, not your mood and anxiety. Anxiety feeds on inaction, on what ifs, on all the things you should do but aren't doing. The longer you wait, the more anxious you become. But the moment you move, even a little, anxiety starts to fade. You turn down the noise by getting to work. By attacking the task, by doing the thing you've been avoiding. Action is clarity. Action is peace. You want to calm the storm in your head, get to work. You don't outthink anxiety, you outwork it. You don't wait for motivation to overcome fear. You use discipline to grind through it. Every workout you show up for, every goal you break into action steps, every time you push past your comfort zone, that's how fear dies. That's how anxiety loses its grip. Don't get it twisted, fear will still show up. Anxiety will still try to sneak in, but now you know what to do. You don't freeze, you don't overanalyze, you don't negotiate, you act, you do the work. You follow your protocol, you get into motion, and over time something powerful happens. You become stronger than your fear, more grounded than your anxiety. Because you've trained your mind to trust your actions, not your emotions. That's how warriors are built. That's how leaders are forged. Not by waiting for the perfect state of mind, but by moving forward when it's hard, when it's scary, when it hurts. Discipline buries fear. Action kills anxiety, and you are in control of both. You are not fragile, you are forged. You weren't made to break. You were built to endure. Every scar, every failure, every ounce of pain you've carried has shaped you. Molded you, refined you. Life isn't supposed to be soft, and you weren't made to live in comfort. You were made for the struggle, for the heat, for the pressure. That's where strength is created. That's where your real power comes from. Fragility is a lie you've been sold. A lie that says you should avoid discomfort, that you should be protected from adversity. But strength doesn't come from being protected. It comes from being tested. You don't build muscle without resistance. You don't build grit without pain. You don't build resilience without setbacks. If you feel broken right now, that's not your end. That's your forge. That's your fire. You've survived things you thought would destroy you. You've endured storms that tried to drown you. And yet you're still here, breathing, fighting, moving forward. That's not weakness. That's proof. Proof that you're not made of glass. You're made of iron, hardened by failure, sharpened by experience. And every time life tried to bend you, you didn't shatter. You adapted. You rose. You became harder to break. When the world calls you soft, when your own mind whispers that you're weak, you remind yourself what you've been through. You remind yourself of the nights you kept going when no one else saw the fight. Of the days you pushed when every part of you wanted to quit. That's what forged people do. They don't fold. They don't crumble. They stand up when it's hard. They hold the line when others break. You want to know the difference between the fragile and the forged? The fragile look for safety. The forged look for challenge. The fragile avoid the storm. The forged walk straight into it, not because they're fearless, but because they know fear can't break them. They've faced fear before, and they've come out stronger on the other side. So stop waiting to feel invincible. You don't need to feel perfect to be powerful. You need to move. You need to rise through the pain. You need to face what's in front of you with the mindset of a warrior. You're not here to be wrapped in bubble wrap. You're here to lead, to endure, to conquer. You are not fragile. You never were. You are the product of every hard day you survived. Every time you stood when it hurt. Every time you kept your mouth shut when you wanted to quit. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you forged. And the world better take notice. Because you're not done. You're just getting started. Take the wheel or crash with your excuses. It's that simple. Life isn't going to wait for you to figure it out. It's not going to pause while you make up reasons why today isn't the day to start, to push, to grind. You have a choice. Either you grab control and steer your life where you want it to go, or you let excuses drive and crash into failure, regret, and wasted potential. The wheel is in your hands. Own it. Excuses are the easy road. They feel comfortable because they protect you from responsibility. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. Those phrases are like potholes on your path, slowing you down, throwing you off course. They look innocent, but every excuse chips away at your dreams. Every excuse is a surrender. And if you keep handing the wheel over to those excuses, you're not just pausing your progress. You're driving yourself off a cliff. Taking the wheel means stepping up even when it's hard, even when your mind is screaming for rest, even when the path ahead looks uncertain or scary. It means saying no to comfort and yes to discipline. It means owning your decisions and their consequences, because no one else is coming to fix your life. No one else is responsible for your success. The driver's seat is yours. And if you're not driving, you're a passenger, and passengers don't get to choose the destination. Control is not about perfection, it's about commitment. It's about waking up every day ready to steer through the rough patches, the distractions, the setbacks. It's about making the hard calls and not looking back. You will mess up, you will make wrong turns, but taking the wheel means you get back behind it, adjust your course and keep moving. You don't crash and give up. You don't blame the road or the weather. You own it. You steer through it. Excuses are the voice that tries to convince you that failure is someone else's fault. But failure is always a result of choices. And the choice to let excuses control you is the deadliest one. The difference between those who win and those who lose is simple. The winners don't make excuses. They make decisions. They take control. They grab the wheel, even when their hands shake. They drive with purpose, focus, and relentless determination. So ask yourself, who's driving your life? Is it you, or is it your excuses? If you want to go somewhere meaningful, if you want to build something real, if you want to live a life without regrets, you have to take the wheel. You have to be the one in charge. You have to be the one who decides that no excuse will ever be bigger than your vision. Because if you don't take control, the only thing left is the crash, and that's not your story. Not if you're willing to grab the wheel and drive.